Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about why you may not be executing on your business. In fact, I'm going to give you 10 possible reasons why. But one thing I want to share with you today is one piece that tends to be missing for people to execute on their business. I see this all the time with my clients in my coaching business. And so I'm really excited to share this with you. So let's get into it. All right, so here are 10 things on why you may not be executing on your business. Number one, a lack of focus. Now, you can talk about lack of focus in many different ways. You can talk about it in terms of you don't really know where your business is focused, or you yourself have a hard time focusing. You know, that could be one potential excuse or storyline that you have in terms of like not feeling focused in your business and not being able to implement in your business. And you might feel like you are flopping in the wind on your business, not really knowing what direction to go into. So therefore, that's another way of having a lack of focus that can hold back executing on your business. Number two, you're too stressed. Now, life happens. It absolutely does. There's stress for everyone, and stress is a real thing. So this is nothing to minimize. Yeah, you might be stressed, and that might be a reason that you're not executing on your business. Number three, we don't see results fast enough. So I know I understand this completely. And I think that there's a short game that you can play in your business and there's a long game that you can play in your business. And sometimes when we are playing that short game, there is a way to just go out and grab business on the short term. But then what tends to happen is that you're doing, I'll say, more work in the long run that you really need to do without focusing on that long game. And so what tends to happen is that we burn out because the short game is just like, it's just kind of stressing us out because it's like Groundhog Day and we might get results, but we're not going to get sustainable results that way. And that's why we tend to fail out on executing at least consistently on our business. And if you are liking this content, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to get notifications on when I'm publishing videos. So the number four reason why you may not be executing is a lack of interest. So maybe you chose the wrong business to actually implement. And I know that I have done this. I'm a bit of a side gigger. I've been doing things over time, trying different things. I started my business coaching business in 2010. But I have taken pauses as, you know, my life changed as I've got married, had a baby, was on mat leave. My interests have changed. At one point, even, I was selling children's books at craft shows because I felt like it was what I was supposed to do as a soon-to-be mom, right? But over time, my interest just kind of faded in selling those children's books, and I wasn't excited about executing on that particular business anymore. I did really well with it at the time, but I just lost interest. Number five, I'm calling the shiny object syndrome effect. So what I mean by this is that there are so many marketing strategies that we can learn out there, but what ends up happening is that we can go and grab all these new learnings or try to refine some of the strategies that we're already using. And instead of it making our business more profitable or effective or consistently growing, it simply adds on our to-do list. And when it adds on our to-do list, we tend to get overwhelmed, get a little burnt out, and then we pull back and we stop executing on our business. It could be hard to measure what is actually working in your business. And then so you don't see those short-term results as we've previously talked about. And then we tend to just stop executing on our business because it's like, well, what am I even doing, right? I know that I have been there. I've tried different marketing strategies. I've tried, like particularly on social media, some things I wanted to learn and it just wasn't me. I wasn't really good at it. Like stories, Facebook stories. I'm not good at Facebook stories. I'm going to be the first one to admit that. I'm horrible at it. I know there's some people around me that are excellent at it. They're super engaging and whatnot. So, you know, Facebook stories, for example, for me is not something that I could sustainably execute on because it wasn't me, right? But it was the thing that we were supposed to do, was that shiny object to say, oh, let's go all in on Facebook stories. And the same goes for TikTok and Instagram reels and that kind of thing. And you know, that could be for you or that may not be for you. If it's not something that you can naturally do, or then, you know, maybe that's one of the marketing strategies that is simply adding to your to-do list and it's not really effective for you. And then so you fail out, right? You fail out and you stop executing on your business. Okay, number 6. So I talked about this a little bit, but it's related to that short-term game versus the long-term game. We like to see short-term results. And sometimes we need to switch to a long-term game that will not result in those short-term results. And that can be a little bit disheartening when you are really trying hard to build your business, but you're not seeing the results come through the window. Maybe you're not getting paid enough in that moment. Like that's the month that you need to be earning an income for your family, right? So it's that short-term game versus the long-term game. And so when you're going toward that long-term game, consistency is absolutely key, and giving it time for those strategies to actually work is really important for your business. Yet not a lot of people do that really well and are able to execute on that long-term basis without feeling like they're seeing the results in the short term. And so we tend to pull back, stop executing, and reevaluate and say, well, what am I doing this for? And we just stop. And on a related note, number 7 is we're not sure that it's going to work, right? Okay, so we go out there, we try all these strategies to build your business, but maybe it is your sales process, or maybe it is the kinds of presentations that you're doing with your clients, or workshops, the topics that you're choosing, the webinar topics that you might be choosing. There's lots of different examples, but we are not sure that it's going to work. So related to that long-term game and that short-term game, the topic and the approach that you're taking may be exactly the right thing that you're supposed to do. However, you need to just implement it longer. A lot of people tend to quit too soon before they can actually see the results in their chosen strategy. But what people tend to do is, because they're not seeing those immediate results or those short-term results, they tend to pull back and stop executing on their business. They take a break and then they might redirect and kind of do something else, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right thing to do for their business all the time. It might be that they really just needed to keep going and play that long game. Number 8, you really don't know what you actually want. And this is a bit of a hint towards this missing piece that I'm going to be talking about right away. But yeah, not knowing what you really want. So when you are designing your business or have a vision for your business, we may be choosing a business that, we think is going to be, easy to do, right? Like, let's talk about like selling spices at a craft show. The idea excites you. You love spices, you love cooking, you like doing all these things. However, what comes with that business is also storing and hauling lots of spices to the craft show that fill up the whole entire back of your trunk, and that breaks your back because they're really heavy and you're trying to bring them in, and you're like, this is horrible. I don't want to be doing this, right? This is not something that I actually want to do, right? So having that clarity on what we actually want to do in relation to even how we want our life to look like. Giving you an example on the coaching and consulting side, I also, in my MBA, went towards getting a certification in consulting. So part of the consulting is that you have to do you have to put in your hours. You have to do a major organizational consulting project. And so I did this. I worked with an amazing nonprofit organization doing a strategic marketing plan for an online learning course in environmental sustainability. It was fabulous. It was such an amazing, it was such an exciting initiative. And I learned a lot by doing that particular project that, by the way, was about 6 months and X amount of hours. However, what I realized was there were certain aspects of that kind of work that I didn't like, and then I felt bogged down by. And so that was when I made the switch to actually become a business coach, because that was way more conducive to what kind of business at the time that I was looking for. So you might not even realize what kind of I'll say execution that you're not going to like until well into your business. So that's number 8. You don't really know what you want, especially when you're kind of starting out. And the solution to that is just keep plugging away and learn about what you like and what you don't like about your business, and then fine tune your business along the way so that it does work for you, your personality, your lifestyle, and everything that it is that you are looking for. Number 9, you create a business that just feels too heavy. So what do I mean by that? We sometimes will start a business based on shoulds or what you think will be successful rather than the kind of business that you actually really want to do. And when you can choose a business that you really want to do and that excites you and that feels light and fun and energetic, that is when you know that you are on the right track in your business. And when it starts to feel heavy, again, we fail out and we stop executing on your business, or we don't even get started in the first place. So we have this grand idea, we're going to start XYZ kind of business. Maybe it's consulting, like the example that I just used. And then you realize all the work that has to go into submitting proposals or responses to proposals, drawing up the contract, coming up with the deliverables, all that kind of stuff. It can be really heavy, right? So sometimes when you start your business, you don't actually know what it consists of. Like, you might think that you want to be a life coach or a fitness coach and do one-on-one. You may just not enjoy sitting in calls all day long. You may not enjoy being on video. You may prefer phone, your clients may prefer video, but you're just, whatever's happening there, it's just not, you're just realizing that it's not how you actually want to do things. Number 10, life happens. This is a big one, and I feel like this is a legitimate one. No matter where you're at in your business, you could have everything sort of figured out. You could, have these other 9 things that I mentioned not really be blocks toward execution, but life does happen. And life does get stressful. And sometimes we have to pull back from our business, and that's a legitimate reason for not executing on your business. You can organize your business in a way, you can hire out, in a way that allows for the breaks. You can hire out help. You can do a lot of things to mitigate this, but let's just be real here and say sometimes life happens, people get sick, maybe there's financial stresses in your life. Like, there could be any kind of personal, family, work stress that pulls you away from executing on your business, and that is perfectly fine because that is life. And that's the number 10 reason why we don't execute on our business. All right, so this is the missing piece that I am excited to talk to you about right now. And with over a decade of experience in coaching clients, taking them through a series of exercises to help them craft their business plans, and seeing what works for them and seeing what doesn't work for them, and also crafting my own business plans, seeing what's going to work for me and what doesn't work for me. The biggest piece, the thing that I think is most critical for your business and for yourself in order to execute on a consistent basis in your business is alignment. Now, I know that we've heard that it might be a buzzword, and if you guys have other comments or other perspectives on this, definitely comment below, because I want to understand from you what would motivate you to execute consistently in your business, or to hear what are the reasons why you stop executing on your business in the comments below. But what I think is creating a business plan is about making a series of decisions that are all in alignment. So you want to have in alignment how you spend your time, how you price your products, how you decide that you want to market, whether it is, in alignment with who you are or not in alignment with who you are, deciding on what you're going to outsource and what you're going to do yourself, how you want to spend your days, whether you can do it at 4:35 in the morning because you're an early bird and you like to get all that done. And then after that, just spend the day taking care of your family or going to your day job. You really just want to look at a ton of different elements to ensure that it stays in alignment. And so when I take my clients through a business planning process, I essentially will take them through a series of questions. We'll fill out the plan. We'll create a plan together, and that might be in 1 or 2 sessions, or it might be over a longer period of time, depending on how advanced they are. And then I will bring them back and I will have them do a bit of a test to say like, okay, but is this part here in alignment with what you kind of did over there? And so to be more concrete about that, it might be like, is your pricing strategy in line with how much you actually want to work in a week, aligned with the value that you are actually offering your clients, aligned with your organic marketing content strategy, or is it aligned with, you know, the automated funnel that you decide to do? Is it aligned with the platforms that you're hanging out on, right? And are those platforms that you're hanging out on authentic to you and how you want to spend your time and how you want to show up in the world, right? So alignment is key to executing on your business, because I think that when you are in alignment, the wheels just turn. And I believe that is a quote. So don't quote me. If I find it, I will pop it in this video. But the wheels will turn more easily when things are in alignment for you. This I promise you. So if you can make a series of decisions that are all in alignment with regards to your business, you will be off and running. And I don't think that people do enough of this work and enough of the analysis and enough of the thought behind their business in order to get there successfully. Now, if you know me, you know that I have a workbook to help you with just that. So I'm going to put that link in the description. So be sure to download the free template, the free business planning template, and the guide. And I have a video about that as well, where you can follow along and create your own business plan so that you have what I like to call a simple business and, of course, a life that you love. So I will see you in the next video.